Hi, it's Charles, and today I want to talk to you about my mandolins. So I was talking to you about my guitars the other day, but my other favorite instruments to play, other favorite instruments to play, I also love piano, is mandolin. So mandolins are really fun, really cool instruments. With the 4 strings, double stringed. When I started playing, I was like, oh, it's a guitar upside down, backwards on the bottom 4 strings. But it's become so much more to me over the last few years. And so I just want to talk about my mandolins and the differences in them. So first things first, I really like to have 2 professional quality instruments of anything that I gig with, essentially. Only one that I don't is an octave mandolin, which I won't be talking about today, but you can always replace an octave with a normal mandolin. It won't be quite the same, but it's still really easy to do. So I love A Style mandolins. My brother says I'm wrong. He's wrong. F's are cool too, but the A Style, it just looks so classic to me. It's like a little lute. How could you go wrong with this? So this is the first really nice mandolin I ever bought. I actually bought it from my brother, who is a really wonderful mandolin player and significantly better than me. But regardless, this Collings MT, it's got a gloss top, Engelmann spruce, and then, here, I'll show you. Beautiful, basically holographic, I don't know if you could tell. Maple back and sides. The tuners are really good. I don't know what they are, but they have the ebony pins. Like every other Collings I've ever played, it is pretty much perfect. I make the same mod on this as every other guitar too. Put a little strap button in here. This one's black, it matches those, that's cool. And then I actually really like the K&K mandolin pickups too, so I have that in here as well. So I keep it just really consistent and it works really well for me. So this mandolin is really bright, but it also has that Engelmann thing going too. I find the harder you dig in, the harder you play it, the brighter it gets. To the point that if you get out of control with it, it's a nice pick. And it definitely can become a nice pick. But if you play it, learn how to control it, it's a really wonderful, really responsive instrument as well. So I'm going to play a couple things on this, and then I'll tell you about my San Juan as well. So that's the Collings MT. It's a really cool instrument. I think it's really good in a band context. I think especially probably cut through really well in more of a rock band, more of a folk band, in bluegrass too. So that's the trade-off with the extra brightness is that those frequencies are not super present in basses. I don't know. I don't think they're super present in banjo, a little bit. Definitely not present in a lot of guitars unless you're playing with a Taylor or something. So really great instrument. I love this thing. I've gigged with it a bunch. Yeah, it's really cool. So that's the first really nice mandolin I got a couple years ago. And then I had started to search for another one because I wanted something that sounded really different than the Collings. Because Collings is, it's a modern instrument. Right, and a modern instrument is a little bit brighter. It sounds great, but it didn't scratch that itch that mandolin players have, and that itch that mandolin players have is for a lower Gibson style instrument. This does. So this is a San Juan mandolin made here in Dolores, Colorado, May 5th, 2025. It is the 22nd A5 Bobby's ever built and the 90th mandolin that he's ever built. So extremely small, single luthier and builder. And I've known Bobby for a long time, so it's really cool to get a mandolin from him. And this one it's an incredible instrument. It does very different things than the Collings. I still think it cut through into band context. It's quite loud. It's made with European spruce and I believe some kind of European maple back and sides as well. It's a little bit of old stock wood too, so I think these are from the 50s or 60s. He was telling me about getting these from a violin maker who'd passed away. So wood that was originally intended for a violin, getting put on a mandolin. It's got this really small sunburst, which I hadn't seen on a ton of mandolins, but it looks really nice when you're just strumming along. You can see a little burst, but it still looks very brown. And it's got a ridiculous back. I don't know if you can see the holographicness going on there, as well as really, really lovely tuners. Again, I had a button put on, and then a K&K pickup put in too. So this is, it's a beautiful instrument. It's got this ebony fretboard, which I hit sometimes, but it's just going to look cool in the future, to be honest with you. So I think this sounds like an old Gibson, essentially. I've had some people come up to me and say that it sounds like an old Gibson when I gigged it last as well. I think it fits in a solo or duo context really, really, really well. I'll just play the same things that I played on the Collings, if I can get this piece of hair off my hand. And I'll play this for you. I can play chords. So that's the San Juan mandolin. Like I said, really different instrument. I've gig out with both of these. It just kind of depends more on the context than anything. I find myself playing this more often. I've been playing a lot more Grisman and dog style music, and this lends itself really well to that. I think the Collings sounds really, really nice playing fiddle tunes, actually. It reminds me a little bit more of like a tone from like a nugget, just because I think the Engelman's top more than anything. It's not a nugget. It doesn't sound like a nugget. But I also know there's some DNA from the nugget in some of the Collings MTs too. I think more on the MT2, but it's a great instrument. Oh, and one thing I wanted to add too that I didn't talk about during when I was actually recording the video, so I'm inserting it here, is on mandolins I find like the wood combinations, like they all have maple backs and sides pretty much, and some variation of a spruce top. So I find they sound more similar to each other than a lot of guitars do, like because guitars just have such different body shapes and sizes, of course. But I also find with the mandolin, because of that, and because of there's maybe more similarities than differences, there's something really interesting that happens as you continue to improve your mandolin playing, which is they start to sound more alike because your right hand gets better at sounding more alike. And I find this on guitar too, but I have to adjust my technique a little bit more on a guitar. I don't really have to adjust my technique a whole hell of a lot on a mandolin to get that sound that I'm really, really looking for. So thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. I'll keep talking about mandolins, guitars, equipment, all that good stuff, but I really, really like doing these songwriting and practice logs across my instruments. It's really fun. I think if you're a musician especially, you will really enjoy them too. So I'm going to actually play you out this time with a little Dog's Waltz.